It's not allowing it. Who logged in here? Log out on your computer and log in on my set, please. Yeah, you logged in. Log out on yours. I just want to show the students that are online how to do it. Thank you, Caitlin. Can you log in, please? Go back to, yeah, click on right on top, Learner Academy. Right. Okay, so there you go. Let's go to sign in, go to Student Hub, sign to Student Hub. The reason I got to get a student to do this is because I, as a lecturer, will log in as a administrator. Username or email, it's your DT for Life email account. Is it working, Caitlin? Computer, maybe my computer don't like you. I'm joking, your computer likes you. And let's try third time. Lucky. Put in your password. Right, enter your password. Ah, great. There we go, right on the top. It's working. Excellent. Excellent. All right, do me a favor. Minimize this. Right. Now you have to maximize. Right, minimize that. Great. And let's go to your profile. Right, so A, he's a student. Excellent, he's a student. Right, now, I'd like you to go to my classes. Go to my classes. And what am I teaching you? What am I teaching you? Artificial intelligence, right? It so happened that they're having artificial intelligence with machine learning in Java. Have you heard of Java? Have you worked with Java? Right? That's okay. But you work with C++ as a programming language. So let's go to take the class. Click on take the class. Right. Wow, he's even completed some work. Excellent. Course resources. He's going to introduction, machine learning. Right. Let's just go through course resources, if you don't mind. Yeah, let's go to course resources. Right. Course resources, we're learning about machine learning, trees, and recursion. So what component of trees and recursion did I teach you? And you are practicing that for the test as well. Decision trees, all right? Decision trees. Then, all right. So let's work one at a time. We're going to go to machine learning, right? So machine learning is an aspect of artificial intelligence, and our course is called Basic Applications of AI, and that's what we're busy working on. So let's go to the next aspect, which is artificial intelligence with machine learning in Java. Now, some of you like to, let's download this because we don't have internet access, and you know how the Wi-Fi is. So if you need to download it, there we go, great, great. So can you give it a name? What was this called? Right, so you guys can download it, right, so that you can watch it. But let's just read through that. It says, this course of study builds on the skills gained by students in Java and Java programming. I know you didn't do Java, but you did C++ programming. And are introduced to machine learning concepts with artificial intelligence. The syntax, the steps required. It's in English. That's okay. They say 40 hours. Oh my word. Right? That's a lot of time. But I know you love programming and you love AI, so you can work with that. It's for second and fourth year college and university students. Ooh, y'all are first years, but I know y'all can handle it. Right? It's for second year students, but you are in the second semester of your first year. And I like to think that I would set the bar high for you, right? What you need some concepts of object-oriented programming. You know that because you did C++ programming. Let's go for a little further down, please. Right, so here's the course So the course overview is define AI. We've definitely defined artificial intelligence. In artificial intelligence, basically wanting to mimic or copy the way a human being thinks. That's what artificial intelligence is, and we're using a computer to do that. And then they say define machine learning. So in machine learning, we train the machine, the computer, to use test data. Right? We did that in the Google Colab. We had some test data, and ours was a study hours example. So we said, if a person studies for 1 hour, they're not going to pass. They're going to fail. 2 hours, they're not going to pass. They're not going to fail. They're going to fail. But if they study for 30 hours, they're going to pass. If they study for 35 hours, they're going to pass. So now we ask the computer or machine, please predict what will happen if a person studies for 40 hours. Using the algorithm, scikit-learn, the computer, the machine will say, or you can guess. Yes, Lisa, yes. If a person studies for 40 hours for the test, they're gonna pass. So can you see how we as a human being can predict that if you study for 40 hours, you're gonna pass? But we didn't write that in the code. In scikit-learn, we did not write that down. Right? That's what machine learning is talking about. Then they talk, the examples of AI are Siri, what you have on your cell phone. Siri is an example of AI. If you talk to Siri and you ask Google, Assist is also an example of talk. Excuse me, sorry. Did I do an exam? I did an exam. Or if you're going to talk to her, go closer to her and talk to her. Let's bring it here. Thank you. No offense, but I asked someone, why do you talk so loud? And they said, no, sir, the reason we do that is so that the person or everybody around thinks that we're not gossiping about them. I don't want to know your stories. Whisper, talk to each other quietly. Right. Let's go on. So then they spoke about supervised and unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, you will give the computer or the machine certain pictures or certain characteristics, and then it must decide what it's going to be. So if you say something like 4 legs, 4 legs, a tail, a head, and then you'll decide that, hey, it's a cat, a dog, whatever, right? So let's go on now. The classification technique that I chose was decision tree. The reason I chose that was it was the simplest of all of them, right? So you can make a decision, pass, fail, yes, no, male, female, and you can go on along that way. But there's other classification techniques that they talk about. So why do we need to learn AI? Because I'm telling you it's AI. I'm the boss in this class, right? And let me tell you, in China, I was reading an article, at 6 years old, they're now making it compulsory for people, for the children to learn AI concepts. And we started, I don't know about you, but were you introduced to AI in high school? You were? Really? What school you went to? In my school, I wasn't introduced to AI. Then I matriculated in 1988. That's another story for another day, right? Okay, so understand the graph, right? Let's go after trees. The trees are the correction. So the tree that I spoke about was the decision tree, and there are other algorithms that you can work on. Right? For those of you who are familiar with the AI concepts, please, you can do this at your leisure, right? I'm teaching now the upper echelons of my students, and you can get a certification for this course, right? And the nice thing is, you can include that in your CV. And you're all complained about the Google, you have to pay for it and everything. In this instance, DUT has subscribed for this, right? And I found it out because I went to the writers' conference. Get Shannon, said, yes, we log you in and create accounts for your students. So that's what I did for you, right? Okay, let's go to the next section. Let's go back. All right, so what software do you require for the course? You can use Alice, you can use Java IDE, you can use following software. Right, there we go. So if you want to download any of the software, you can go to the following links. Right? I think it is a hyperlink. If you click on that one. Yeah, right. Don't click on it yet. It'll take us out of it. But if you need any of the software links, it's available to you. Right? Let's go to the next. Save your progress. Yeah, save your progress. There we go. Every time you save his progress, 25% done, 100% done. At the end of it all, I will get a summary of the statistics in terms of who completed and who did not complete. And I must say, I'm doing quite a bit of extra work. This article thing is not part of the syllabus, right? It's not part of it. But I'm giving you the opportunity to gain extra certification, right? For your benefit. You are first year students. And I realized at the competition taken, at the universities, they talking machine learning, left, right, and center. The judges asked a question, where are you going to use machine learning in this? I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I just need to use it to my students to take it. And I felt lousy that a question like that, right? But they are thinking that this is what DUT is operating at, which we're not, right? We're not. So let's go to the first one. Let's go to the slide here. Page 1. Artificial intelligence with machine learning. Now, continue, please, continue. Continue. Right, continue. Lovely. It does not require any knowledge of AI. So it's starting at fresh. But you guys already have some introduction to AI because you did the Microsoft Learn certification and you did the Google certification. I think one more you did the IBM skills, right? And I'm going to collect that on Monday. And I can take a bet with you. On Monday, the students are going to come, sir. We haven't done it, didn't print it, no money for printing, no printer. I got honors level students. I was teaching in project management. I asked them to do a certification, same thing. And these are people that are mature, 24-year-old, 25-year-old working people, right? So let's continue. You need a basic understanding of Java. It's not required, but no, go on. You've got a basic understanding of C++. Little lower. Little lower. Right. You're going to read this on your own. Next one. Introduction to AI. All right, let's make it big. Artificial intelligence. Now, objectives means at the end of reading all of this, you should be able to define what is AI. You should be able to define what is machine learning. You should be able to give examples of AI. Let's go to the definition of AI. The goal of AI, generally categorized as machines seem to behave intelligently. Basically, we are mimicking or copying the way a human being thinks and the way the human being makes decisions and logic. That's what AI is all about. Let's go down to the Turing test. Let me talk to you about the Turing test. Turing developed an idea that a computer and a human should engage in a dialogue such that you as an observer would not be able to differentiate whether it is a machine or whether it is a human being that's answering you. And if you're able to do that, well, then you kind of pass the Turing test. You can go and, thank you, Lisa, for following on your computer. You can, if the observer cannot differentiate whether it's a human, then you pass the Turing test. There we go. So they are, in this instance, the interrogator cannot see the human being and he cannot see the computer. There's a wall over here or whatever. And the interrogator asks questions and the machine responds. It's like when you are interacting with a chatbot or when you are interacting with Siri. Siri is a machine, it's not real, right? Or you're interacting with Shepard, the robot, and you ask a question. And then you're not sure whether it's a human being asking the question or a computer. Then you know that there's something happening. So AI, imitating humans is just one form of AI. The others, you're making predictions. Right? You can read all of this. Let's go up. Chess. Chess is a game played between two human beings. But you can go to chess.com and you can literally play against the computer. Right? You're playing against the computer. So homework, go to chess.com. Let's go down. Right. Let's expect next slide. Next slide. Right. AI, machine learning, are terms that we use them interchangeably. That's how, even though our course is called BAAI, you notice I'm talking machine learning. But in colloquial terms, we can talk of AI or machine learning, ML, ideally. AI, ML. Let's go on. AI, let's go to the formal definition. An attempt for machines capable of simulating intelligent human behavior. So the machine, the computer, wants to behave like a human being. Now, in all my reading and research, I haven't realized or come up to a decision where I can confidently state, maybe I'm wrong, maybe some university or research facility out there, that there's this level of consciousness. So, am I able to make a moral decision, right? And when I talk of a moral decision, if the computer, let's say, for instance, we say there are lots of students at DUT and we are running into financial loss, what should we do? A machine will simply say, deregister all the students. Or will say, in a certain town or a village, there's not enough food. What should we do? The computer or the machine will say, kill half the people. To kill the people, there's no need for food, right? But that's a decision made by a machine. So I in my reading, I haven't found a state or articles or anything to state that a computer will make a moral judgment where it'll say, listen, you can't kill the people because they don't have food. Or let's say, for instance, you would say there's a person who is physically disabled, so they can't work. So if that's the case, hey, kill the person off, right? Because it's of no value to society. Or a person who's mentally retarded or has a mental disability. By the way, in World War II, Germans, they were actually killing off people who were not physically able to fight in the war. So if you had a leg amputated or a hand amputated, right? Okay, let's go on. Machine learning is about creating systems that can learn from the data and improve their performance over time without being explicitly programmed. So the example that I did with you about the study hours, we trained the data. The cool drink example, we trained the data and we made little movie clips. Did you like it? Short ones. I realized you guys are TikTok people and YouTube shorts, so I have to make my videos short today. Right. That's coming out in the test, by the way. Scikit-learn, all of that. You should do extremely well in the test because you have extra time. I'm doing revision with you and revision and revision and revision. Hopefully, if test venue and test facilities come back to us on Monday, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we write our test, right? Either Ritson Hall or Estate Basement. I'll let you know. So there we go. Machine learning. Machines are built using AI. Machines are built using machine learning. You may not seem different. Machine learning can be the building blocks of an AI. AI is like the entire car. Machine learning is the engine that powers the modern car. Let's go on. Most programs are written to carry out a specific task, but in machine learning, a program aims to gain information that can be used later. That's when we talk about this thing about training the machine, training data, learning data, and then testing the data, and then even went on to give a prediction whether our algorithm or our program, what percentage of it being correct, 0.8% prediction correct. So, for instance, in the study hours, if we had, say, 10 rows of data, and then in another instance, we had 100 rows of data, where there's 100 rows of data, it'll make a better prediction than with just 10 rows of data. All right, so let's go on. Search algorithms. All right, we can leave that alone. Let's go on next one. Right, so some of the examples of using algorithms, Netflix uses this quite a bit. If you have a Netflix subscription or a Facebook account or even a Twitter account, I noticed. Let's go a little bit lower. Where's the examples? sorry, a little bit up. Sorry, the examples. There we go. There we go. Right. There's the examples and applications of AI and machine learning. Identify faces in the picture. Netflix personalized suggestion. Amazon. So the other day I was just looking at Toyota Corollas. Right. My first car was a Toyota many years ago. So I said, let me just check up on the prices and what have you. And believe it or not, if I go to my Gmail account, I will find adverts for Toyota Corollas. If I go to my Facebook account, you'll see adverts now linked to a Toyota Corolla. And guess what? It's so specific, it's within the Durban area. You get Durban South Toyota, Belito Toyota, and whatever, right? So the algorithm picked up that I was searching or interested in a Toyota Corolla, and it thinks that I want to buy one. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm just saying. Right? Similarly, a Volvo. So I drive a Volvo, and I was looking at some adverts of the Volvo characteristics of safety features, and then I see it popping up. There's a new Volvo ES90 out. I didn't look for it. I didn't ask for it, but the algorithm picked up because it was, in a way, sifting through the search of my search history, right? Spotify. Any of you download a Spotify app? You got it? Listen to music? Download, it's free. And then, well, but I got the paid version because I don't like all the adverts. So the Spotify app, if you could listen to a particular type of music, it would start to give you suggestions as that type of music, right? I'll give you an example. I was listening to classical music. Now, the classical music pops up. Oh, it also pops up on my Facebook feed, right? And then on Facebook, it'll say, would you like to listen to this one? Yeah, I like to listen. I will click on, and then it picks up that I'm into. I like that. And it so happened that Vivaldi was playing at the Playhouse. Those adverts came out. Classical music by candlelight or something like that. And I went for it too. But I'm just saying, can you see how the algorithm learns and picks up these advertisements, Facebook advertisements? Netflix, because I like romantic comedies, you'll notice that picks up on the Netflix, my profiles, right? For instance, I won't get to see all the horror and thriller and scary movies unless I go and search, obviously, right? I'll just give you an example. It'll even tell you, based on whatever search, this is what you like. Let's go on. You can read that. You can read that. Oh, I like this one here about the stock exchange. Let's go to, can it really predict stock? What to buy or to purchase from a particular institution? I don't know. If it did, then you have lots and lots of millionaires out here, right? Let's go on. Right, you can read the summary. Let's go to the next section. A student guide. Let's go. Save and continue. Great. Look at that. We're doing your work for you. Wow. Right, let's go to the student guide. And artificial intelligence with Java. Well, like I said, you didn't do Java, but it'll be a good idea for you to try and learn it. Let's go on. Oh no, didn't we do this? We did. Right. We did the Turing test, AI. Yes, we did this. Right. Let's. You can read this on your own. Now, the students at honors level, all I said yesterday was I test or I teach and I teach or I test. I use the word teach. I didn't say lecture. Right. And then they said your word, sir, because for the test they want me to tell them what's coming out in the test, what's the scope, what's the amount of marks for section A, section B, section C. You know what? At university, I should be spoon feeding you to the extent of me telling you section A, 10 marks, multiple choice. Section B, paragraph type questions. Section C. You need to do some work on your own. You have to, whether you like it or not, right? And I'm going to take, for the next test, test 2, I'm going to take from these PDFs. I'm going to take questions, multiple choice questions, paragraph type questions, or whatever, right? Just to see whether you have actually read through these notes. All right? That's my evidence. And I'm also going to give you a journal article. Did I give you a journal article to read? Did I narrate one? So that's coming out in Monday's test. All right? Data is unprocessed information. We collect that. What's information is where I get some meaning out of it. Let me give you an example. If I say 20 degrees or 20, I'm not saying degrees. You don't know whether I mean 20 students, 20 degrees Celsius, 20 cars. But if I say 20 degrees Celsius, the temperature on the 27th of August, Durban, then you have an idea that, listen, it's a bit cold. But if I tell you it is 35 degrees Celsius, which happened in Durban a couple of weeks ago, that's pretty hot. That's more meaningful than me simply saying 35. Let's go on. You can read the rest. Right? You can read what's the data versus information. Can I summarize that for you? Example of information, I summarize that for you. Let's go down. So here's an example. All student marks, is it data or is it information? Average of the student marks, is it data or information? That should be information, because if I base my average, if I say the average for BAAI test 1 was 80%, ooh, I think it was a very simple paper, very clever students, or whatever. If I say the average for the test 1 was 30%, ooh, my students didn't study, it was a very difficult paper, or something of that sort, right? You can work on that one. Let's go to the next section. Section 9, I'm doing okay for time. Let's go to, we leave this, right? We leave this out. Let's go to the next section. Section 2. You're going to work on section 1 on your own, right? Let's go to section 2, machine learning. Right. There's 14 slides out here. Let's make it bigger. Yep. What are the reasons? I don't have to tell you about the growth in AI. Why AI now? It's part of your syllabus, Internet of Things. AI. I don't know of any other course that has BAAI in it. Basic application of artificial intelligence. Let's go on. You can read that. You can read about opportunities. I'm guessing in a few years' time, there's going to be some jobs that are irrelevant. I'll give you an example of a job that I found is irrelevant. Many years ago, by the way, when I watch a film, I always like to watch the credits at the end where they say who was the stunt people and who was flying the helicopter and all of that. If you look at old movies, you'll get it where it says the cameraman and the helicopter and the footage from the helicopter. Now, a drone can do that. So there's no need for a helicopter and there's no need for a cameraman. Check it out. A person with a drone on the ground, he can go and fly and take it. Right? Right, you can read all of that. In Nintendo chips, the gaming. Let's continue. Right. You're gonna go through this in detail. Let's go to the next one, student guide. There's 14 slides out here. Machine learning. Now, very often students just skim through this and then they click that they've done it. If you don't read it, you don't make notes, you don't summarize it, you're not going to understand anything. Please don't do it like how you did the Microsoft Learn certificates. You just do it for the sake of doing it, and then when it comes to the test, you don't pass, right? Or, in other words, fail. Let's go to the next section. Machine learning workflow. I want you to go through this one. Right. So the next, go ahead. Machine learning with Java. Machine learning. And we did an example in Google Colab on machine learning. Go down. Oh, there's another concept, data science. I hope in a year or two, we have a qualification on purely data science. We are touching on data science in machine learning and AI concepts, right? Uh, there's other universities that only have a qualification in data science. Let's go down. Again, data modeling, read all of that. Right. Let's go to the next section, please. You can do that. Let's go to the quiz. Let's see if we can answer some questions from the quiz. Right, let's take the assessments. Let's try it. This is your first attempt of unlimited attempts. Oh, wow. Quick start to begin the assessment. Let's all help you to pass. Quick start. Average results for a class in a quiz is an example of data. True or false? We did this example with us. Average data in a class, the average for the test one was 80%. True or false? False. It's actually information. Let's see if that's true or false. Someone to answer? Oh, they don't give me whether it's right or wrong. Okay. Paper-based invoices that come into your office from different sources are examples of unstructured data, structured data, independent data, or dependent data. Hey, here's my test questions for test 2. Aha! This is how I know whether the students have done the work or not. Take a calculated guess. A, B, C, or D? Structured data. Okay, let's go over it. Someone to answer. We've got unlimited attempts. In 1985, Crane's supercomputer is more powerful than an Apple iPhone. No, false. 1985? Yes, I was in standard 8. Or was it grade? What you call it? Grade 10. Yes, we didn't even have laptops then. That's how poor we were. In a loan example, has a job is, if a person, we say, machine learning, if he has a job, is it a predictor, is it an independent data, or is it a target? So here, I'll help you. We want to give a person a loan. And one of the characteristics to give a person a loan is he must have a job, because he must be able to pay back the loan. The student generally doesn't qualify for the loan. You'll need a guarantor. So is he a predictor or is he a target? Yes, Kita?
I need to kick you out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, is it already 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
10 flies when you have your fun.
Yeah,
okay. Sure. It's 9 o'clock already.
No,
sorry,
he's
no,
here.
Sorry,
so
I'm almost done. Almost done.
So I just have to remind you.
You know, I have a class, but I have somebody just had a task.
So you want to continue? I can start you.
Continue till 9 or so.
Sure.
I have no students have come.
No problem. So thank you so much. Sorry about that. That class we gotta go. Let's just go. Just select. It's a predictor. Let's go predictor. Next question. Let's quickly. What does data mean? Data is gathering of facts. That's the part one. Part one. Next question. Chris model. Ooh, I think it's iterative. Iterative means over and over. Yes. Covered. The Turing test is a test whether a computer can imitate a computer, a human imitates a computer. Okay, let's go for it. By the way, you can choose more than one answer, right? Machine learning is an attempt to build machines that look like humans. Yes, take one. Submit. Which of the following is the model for looking at data via machine learning? Select one. Quickly. Submit. And 10, data that can be shown in table format. This is, yes, it's structured. You know pandas, panel data? Yeah. Can you see how the theory is what we did in the practical? I'm trying to show you that. Data is normally stored in a table in a spreadsheet is structured. It's structured. Right? Normally structured. In the CRIS model, oh, I don't know the CRIS model. Yes, anything? Can machine learning only be used one type of task? No, false. It can be used in more than one, isn't it? Two more. Having no knowledge of a system that you wish to classify is an example of unsupervised. You don't know what's coming up, right? Unsupervised. It could be regression, I don't know. Viewing a summary of all your credit card transactions on a Monday is an example of information. True, true, true. Right? Don't look at my credit card. And completed. Let's see how many we got just by guessing. Wow! 80%. Yay! Can you take a screenshot and say post it? So yeah, right? View the results. Okay. Thank you very much. Right, goodbye. Let's call it a day. Right. Goodbye, everybody. Yes. Right.